Shalom, everyone. I hope you are doing as well as can be. There's a story told of the Viznitzer Rebbe, who was once invited to attend a wedding of a child of a man whose wife had unfortunately passed away. Late that night, at around 2 a.m., the Rebbe asked his gabbai to drive him to this father's home. The gabbai said to him, he said, it's 2 a.m. We can't go to his house right now. He just had his own child's wedding. We can't go right now. And the Rebbe said, no, we need to go right now. So the gabbai complied. And when they arrived at the man's home, the Rebbe sat down and he starts asking the father, what did you think of the wedding? What did you think about the food? What did you think about the decor? So exciting that this person came and that person came. The music was amazing. What did you think? And everything else. They had this whole nice conversation. And on the way back, the gabbai asked the Rebbe, he said, I don't understand. What was the purpose of this visit? Why did you need to go right now at 2 a.m.? After his child's wedding? He probably just wanted to go to sleep. And I just don't understand. And the Rebbe explained that normally, after a wedding, the person's parents, they go home and they talk about the experience. They share their feelings, what they liked, who came and what their friends and relatives saw and who they spoke to. This father, this Rebbe said, had nobody to talk to, nobody to share his feelings with after such an emotional evening. And so the Rebbe decided he needs to go to the man's house. He needed to go to this man's house to give him the opportunity to talk about and share his feelings and talk about this really important event. In this week's Parsha, the Torah forbids causing orphans and widows to distress. Kol almana v'yatom lo ta'anun. We can't distress them. We can't cause them any pain. Now, it's an interesting thing. Why did the Torah go out of the way specifically to tell us only about orphans and widows? And Rashi says, of course, anyone we had to go out of our way to not, and any time to distress anyone. But the Torah specifically is telling us about widows and orphans here because they're especially vulnerable. They're easily pained. And it makes sense. Rav Shmuel Birnbaum explains that Rashi is teaching us the special obligation that we bear to exercise care when we're dealing with someone who's a little bit weaker, people who are frail, people who are fragile, who have gone through challenging times. Of course, we all share our problems, our own hardships. Everyone has their own peklach, as people say. But some people are what we call these weaker people, the tishushe koach. They're either physically drained, they're emotionally drained, they're overwhelmed by grief or anxiety. And it's our job to be especially sensitive and attuned to their fragile condition. Now, our job of parents is especially important here. This story of the Viznitzer Rebbe is an inspiring example of this sensitivity. And as parents, it's the vital message that we need to give over to our children. Now, obviously, there's nothing positive about the war in Israel. One perspective that we can take is that it does give us an opportunity to teach our children this value of empathy, of how to really care for those teshushe koach, those people who are a little bit weaker. Right? Every single person in Israel, to one extent or in another, is teshushe koach. They've either had an immediate family member or someone who's a close relative who's serving and are worried about their safety. Everyone in Israel knows somebody who has been affected by this war. And therefore, it's so important for us to make sure to show real care and sensitivity and do whatever we can to help. We need to reach out. We need to express our support. And as they continue to go through the struggles that they're going through, we have to just be there as much as possible for them. And by doing this, we're not going to be telling our children, we should care for others, but we'll be showing them, which is the most powerful way to parent our children to the values that we want to impart. Wishing you all a great week.